I just feel so inadequate because I'm not used to being in the big city, being from a small town. It's a small town of Bonner Springs, Kansas. A lot of people don't know where that is, about 10 minutes west of here by phone. It's so small we don't get Monday night football till Wednesday morning. It's terrible. But he said it was informal. I dressed up for this, but I have felt kind of out of place. And so if you don't mind, I'd like to feel in place. I noticed nobody's wearing their cap tonight during the dinner, but I will. I have sort of got cut to the chase too with my selection of an assistant, and I wonder if this young lady in brown would come up and help me here. Thank you very much. And your name is Sheila Miller. Sheila happens to be my wife, but that's all right. We wanted to get this, and we've not prearranged. No, we have not. We just come because we're going to have to borrow a lot of props and want to make sure she has. But we both live in this small town, which unfortunately is just outside Kansas City. People try to pass counterfeit money a lot in my drugstore out there, Miller Pharmacy. And in fact, the other day, somebody just gave one of my clerks a counterfeit $9 bill. But we came out even. They gave him back 3 threes. And so what we'd like to do is to show you how to tell counterfeit money. And would you by chance have a bill on you that I might borrow? Certainly does. Thank you very much. This is a $1 bill, a fairly new $1 bill, but the way you can tell counterfeit money, and we'll show everybody this, is that they have printed in the paper some little threads. Sometimes they're little green threads. I tell you how you find them out. You kind of roll up the bill and make a little cup out of it like this. And then you kind of use a little magic to try to make the threads visible on there. Very small. You can barely see them. But if you're good enough, you see they're kind of little greeny type of threads that it didn't make it. It didn't ruin it or anything. It still made it an okay bill. So that's a good bill for you. Don't put that away because I'd like to use that to illustrate inflation. You remember we've talked about inflation and how money doesn't go as far as it used to, and she'll attest to that. And to illustrate that, I'd like to use a couple of rubber bands here and the dollar bill to show what inflation is. We're going to make these rubber bands a graph, with this being 100%, 75%, 50%, 25%. So would you take the dollar bill and crease it lengthwise? You've done this before. Lengthwise on the table. And now if you're holding one end of it, put the other end below the first rubber band, bringing it back across and making a, that's it. And hold it good, hold it on the end. Now let's hold it up so everybody can see kind of in a parallel, because what happens is, after a while, instead of being worth 100 cents on the dollar, it's only worth 75. See, it's only 75 cents on the dollar. Pretty soon, before you know it, it's down to 50 cents on the dollar, and of course, pretty soon down to 25 cents. I'd like to be 100% again. One of the things that living in a small town, and we live in a very small town. It's so small that we put mirrors on each end of town to make it look bigger. In fact, its zip code is EI. Well, one of the things when you are in a small town, you develop what you might say is a magnetism for your things. And may I borrow one of your rings? Okay, because she's had this ring now, how long?
Several years.
Several years. I know exactly how long it was because this was a 40th anniversary ring. So we have known ourselves quite a long time. But when you have a magnetism toward your objects, what happens is if you, for instance, have a ring like this and it's hers, it will naturally want to come closer to her, you see. And it just keeps, nothing you can do will stop it. It'll just keep going until it gets closer. So it is your ring? You know, we've gone from money now to a moneyless society, and credit cards seem to be the big thing. And I always carry a credit card with me, my credit card with me. Very proud of it. I carry it in my little briefcase here. And it, I happen to have a Jones credit card. And you have probably a credit card. Could we use it? Because we're going to illustrate how I have developed a way that you will never lose your credit card. Oh, you have American Express. Well, what I'd like to do, I'd like you to cup your hand, and we're going to take the credit cards and place in your hand, if you will, like this, and kind of cover them up. Now we're going to pretend that she's out shopping, and I'm kind of a pickpocket. And I'm going to kind of sneak in here before she, you know, she knows it, you see, and take her credit card and put here in the briefcase. And of course, I go hustling out. Well, all of a sudden, she feels something may be wrong. So all she has to do, because I've taught her the magic American Express words, which are, don't leave home without it. Don't leave home without it. And if that works, you should have your credit card back. Let's see if you do. Yes. And I should have, of course, oh boy, I got the good old Joneses. So anyway, there you go. Don't forget the magic words. We're still not done yet. Still not done yet. As you can see, we haven't really rehearsed this. Save time. What we're going to do now is I've been working on a new trick, and it's done with two coins, because I try to do a little money trick. And this is done with 2 coins, and they are of contrasting colors. There is the silver $50, and then there is the copper English penny. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 coins, put it in my hand, take the silver coin or the $50, put it in my pocket, and which should leave then in my hand the English penny. But there's something wrong. Every time I try to do this, I always end up with these 2 coins, an English penny and a $50. Maybe I used the wrong thing. We'll use the English penny. Take it, place in my hand. Well, darn it, it's still $50 in the English penny. I tell you, would you take the $50, and I'm going to let you, and I'll take the English penny in my hand, place it in my pocket, making sure that it goes there. Now, show your hand empty like this. There you go. And of course, what should be, no, it's in the end up to these. Something's the matter, I'm sorry. We'll take the English penny, put it away, and in this case, now, I'm just going to have to practice on that trick a little while. I'm sorry. Actually, when you're from the small town of Bonner Springs, you have a lot of time to practice. And I've been trying card tricks. I'm not as good as a lot of these finger flingers, but I have a magic watch that does card tricks. You watch carefully. I'm going to have you. I'm just going to cut the card. In fact, we'll do it real quick. You just say stop and pick one.
Stop.
Take it. It's not the 3 of clubs, is it?
No.
No, good. Give the watch a little look at it. And what we're going to do, if you look closely, it ought to, no, it's running a little slow. Tell you what, let's do. If you have a watch, I can maybe get a jump sometimes. I need to let a jump on it. And let's watch closely at the face and, oh, wait a minute. Is there a little card in the watch? A queen of diamonds, and that is the queen of diamonds. And I'm just all shocked. Thank you very much.